Hi ladies! I'm hoping to finish my introduction with this week's video. I left off at 2005, and let's see, 2006 was a pretty boring year for me. I didn't do much except for switch jobs. I tried my hand at the Blue Heron Cafe working with Cinnamon Miller, and unfortunately Cinnamon was the only person there that I enjoyed working with, so I did not end up staying there for very long. I was introduced to a great little market called the Hope Market Cafe, and I started working there in August of 2006. The space just seemed to suit me a lot better than the Blue Heron Cafe. There was an art gallery attached, and they were doing live music, an open mic, which I really enjoyed and got into doing, and the people were just eccentric, and they were holding art classes in the back cabins, and I just loved it and just fit in there right away, and I stayed there for about 3 years waitressing. In 2007, I decided to finally make the break from Kenneth, who was my husband at the time. In July, I was feeling very self-empowered and really fed up with everything, and I decided to just go for it. I made all these promises to myself about doing it all on my own, loving me and my girls first and foremost, and not letting any man get in the way of that. And of course, as soon as I make those promises, the perfect man walks into my life. I started taking him to the open mics with me, and from there it just kept growing. We both had to just jump in with both feet, and we just couldn't let this great opportunity pass us by. He was letting me stay in his guest house with my kids while I was homeless and trying to find my way after splitting up with Kenneth, and we just realized how much we really loved spending time together. So we decided to rent a house together that year, and we got a house from Sandpoint Property Management right downtown Sandpoint, and stayed there for a year and just realized that everything was so perfect, and John decided to buy a house after that. So in 2008, John bought this house that we're in right now. The white walls of the rental house killed me. It drove me up the wall, living in a space with white walls everywhere. It was almost like they had taped off the windows and decided to spray paint everything white between every tenant, so there was just thick white paint on everything, and of course I couldn't paint anything, so it drove me nuts. And the minute we moved into this house in July of 2008, we painted every single wall. You can see the beautiful terracotta color behind me. I've got blue on all the ceilings. This ceiling here is actually purple, and I've got teal bathrooms and green walls in my living room, and I love it. We've been doing yard work outside. We've got a nice little garden started. We don't have much property, so it's just kind of gardens along our fence line, but it's really rewarding to actually plant something and be able to keep it, since it's not a rental house. In 2008, right before we moved in, or possibly right after, I think, John and I did a sort of hand fasting, which is a pagan tradition. It's kind of a pagan marriage tradition. We didn't do anything traditional, even in the pagan sense, but we just privately together exchanged vows and these beautiful wedding rings. I don't know if you can see it, but it's tungsten metal, tungsten steel. It's supposed to be stronger than stainless steel, and it doesn't bend or warp like gold and silver will. It still looks as beautiful now as the day you put it on my finger. And we just exchanged vows on the shoreline of the Trestle Creek Recreation Area. There was lightning over the mountains and purple skies, and I wrote a song about it, but it was just a magical night. So after that, the kids noticed that we had rings on our fingers, and they were really kind of confused about that. So we told them what we did, and they decided to throw us their own little wedding ceremony. They told us to go away so they could get everything all set up, and when we came back into the living room, they had baskets full of flower petals, and they wanted to take our rings so they could be the aficionados of the wedding, and it really was really heartwarming. I couldn't believe that they just put that together on their own, that they really even wanted to. So that was very, very touching, and it meant more to us than signing any like legal papers to make it a legit thing in the eyes of the government. Just committing to one another privately was all we really needed. So John is my husband in my mind, maybe not in the eyes of the courts, but that was just a really magical year for me. 2008 was great. So I think I'm going to stop it there, and next week I will start with my music and what happened in 2008, and hopefully finish my introduction history. Hope you guys have a super week, and Tara, have a wonderful anniversary, and you will see me next on Saturday. Bye!